Last we left off, Chief, after having stepping away from the Hydra, slain by the inevitable end, ventured further northeast in order to enter the Dunrock Mountains to mine a soul crystal. There, in one of the crags off to the side of a normal mine entrance, Chief discovered what began to become a glittering cavescape that, as he traveled deeper below, the crystals grew less numerous but larger. Coming face to face with a creature, an axolotl of elemental capabilities, Chief and Master dispatched it quickly, as it was aggressive towards them. A little ways further down, following the glow of light, a chamber was found, within which there was a large chasm, a hole, deep enough that when a rock was tossed in, did not hear the bottom. Searching around the room, it appeared that most of the crystal in the room was similar to the soul crystals that were being searched, but a very specific quality of crystal was necessary. Sometime after Chief found the one he needed, on a hunch, Chief threw another stone down the hole. As the sound was not as expected, there emerged, after a short time, a large gelatinous creature, glowing in blue, though not necessarily taking any action against Chief and Master. A pulse spread throughout the room, and Chief's mind was separated from his body. Acting as a third-party observer to his body and to Master, from within the walls of one of the crystals of the chamber. And that is where we come to the beginning of the session, Chief. You see before you your own body gone limp, fallen to the ground, Master to the side of it, leaning over, nudging you, and then looking to this large gelatinous creature. What do you do?
Can I sense if I can use any of my magical abilities in here? Or even be able to sense anything?
Just go ahead and roll an Arcana check or religion.
Both Arcana. 22.
22. Okay. You're pretty certain you don't necessarily have the ability to just launch a spell. You know that the components for many spells require verbal and somatic abilities, and this space you're in now, you have no mouth, you have no hands with which to draw symbols, and even more so when it comes to material components, as that has all been left behind.
Is there anything else in here with me, or am I the only thing in it?
Make a perception check.
15.
In taking the time to turn your attention around the space you're in, you are in fact not alone. But making detail of the other entities in this space is difficult. And it doesn't seem that they're directly interacting with you.
Can I try to wave at one of them, even though I'm like stumpy ghost wave?
As you exert the will to try and extend a greeting, you do feel the attention of roll a d6.
Two.
You do feel the attention of two entities turn to you. And it is not eyes, it is not awareness like you're used to. It's just something that you can innately sense that you are being perceived.
I want to go like towards the way of my body and master, and just try to see if I can't push or maybe go through the edge.
Okay, as you will yourself that direction, your body does in fact move, but when you reach the edge of the crystal, you stop. And it's not as if you're impacting something, and it's not painful. It's simply that the will to move that direction causes no further change in your position. But it is as you approach the wall, you just feel a slight shift in your perspective. And for a moment, it feels like you're maybe somewhere else. But you return.
Can't really speak because you said I don't have a mouth. I'll try to reach out with my mind, even though I don't have telepathy. Say, can somebody help me out of here?
As you do, give me a second.
We are here.
Who's that?
You said help.
Yes, I'd like to get back into my body, please.
Who are you? Why are you here? We have been here for so long, so long.
My name is Chief.
Chief.
I was trying to gather some stones for a contraption I'm building.
No, we don't touch the stones.
Why is that?
That is why we are here.
Are you attached to the stones somehow?
Forever bound.
Were you that thing that came up out of the hole?
One with the creature. After a time.
I want to use a divine sense.
Okay. Yeah, and so that's celestial, fiend, fae, undead.
No, the
demon?
fae is not part of it.
Fae is not part of it.
It's just celestial, fiend, and undead within 60 feet.
You know, this isn't necessarily an ability that you've used a lot.
Yeah.
You're aware of how it works. And there is kind of a muddled response all around you, but with focus to the creature that you can still see outside of the crystals out there in the wall. And it is at this point you see basically just Master has kind of, hunkered over your body. It isn't necessarily growling or lashing out at the creature, but the creature is just there. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. It's almost a fiend. That's all you can tell. But around you, many mixed things.
How long have all of you been in here?
This is where you hear a cacophony of answers simultaneously.
Is there a way out?
None have so far.
Need to get back to my friends, so any information on maybe a way, a possibility would be amazing.
We could be your new friends.
And it's as you hear that again, your mind shifts and your perspective and where you are moves with it. And unlike last time, you get a flash and you're in what looks like a study for just a moment. And there's someone in front of you, but then you shift back again.
I'm sure we could be very good friends, but I have a mission that needs to be completed. So I can't stay. A mission to save the magic of the world.
There doesn't seem to be any response.
Is a great evil plotting to destroy countless lives.
Great evil?
Yes. Chief being who he is, he just say it's servants of Yigandu. I'm trying to
We
stop
do not know if it's Yigandu.
Make an intelligence check, Chief. Natural one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what's going on.
I'm gonna look out to the creature. I'm assuming I can see the creature from.
Yeah, the outside surface of the crystal is like a window, and you can see out of it. Everything is hazed in purple and slightly opaque material, a very faint tinge of blue, but you can see out clear enough.
I'm going to focus on it and try to reach out to it with the same way I've been talking to these guys.
Okay. And with ease, a connection forms.
What is it?
I believe I may have intruded on your home. I'm sorry, but I would like to leave peacefully, if possible.
No intrusion. What is it?
What is what?
You.
What am I? I am kind of in my mind, point over to the body. I'm the big metal guy over there.
No, it does not fit. The shell.
That's interesting. I woke up
It
and
was once smaller.
hearing that, Chief's gonna think back to the dreams and the stuff he's done with Gilmore.
Yes, I will show you.
And rapidly, you are taken to a new place. Your vision goes black and you feel yourself rocketing through space. But you realize, again, you're not actually moving through space, you're moving through yourself. Your mind. Deeper, receding deeper and deeper in, and then you're in a study. And there she is again. The red-haired, tall for a gnome, but a gnome nonetheless, daughter. Turned, 3/4 away, writing something, while sitting at a desk adjacent to yours.
I'll think, yes, this is what I have been shown. I'm not sure what quite to make of it other than what someone has once told me.
You say that out loud?
Well, to him, it seems to be a memory. I not know where it comes from, though.
She turns around and says, what?
Sorry. Must have dozed off for
Are
space.
you okay?
Yeah, just a lot on my mind. How are you?
A little worried now. It's not the first time you kind of just spaced out and started acting a little different.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
What have you learned about crystals and spirits trying to get in or out of them?
Huh. Well, there's a number of things. So Melf's Arcanum, I don't think it's in here right now, actually does talk about imprisoning crystals. I know that before our time, the halls of Halas were discovered, and within them, Halas was imprisoned, apparently betrayed by someone. But that wasn't necessarily... you're gonna have to be a little bit more specific, Dad.
Is there any jewels around, like on the desk, like crystals that a spellcaster would?
Yeah, make a perception check.
13.
And with really no effort at all, for whatever reason, you recall exactly that there are a number of crystals. There's just a simple crystal orb on the desk, something that would work for a scrying spell. You look to that, and then you remember that 2 drawers down on the left. Do you open it?
Yeah.
You open it, and there is all manner of crystal reagents there, of a plethora of types. There's a diamond in case of emergency, though you can't exhibit that type of spell. There's dusts and gems and some larger crystals.
I'm just gonna reach in and grab one of the ones that would fit in my hand decently.
Okay.
Whatever it is.
So kind of like a semi-precious stone, you pick up would be like a large topaz.
Yeah. And I look at her like, say you're somewhere and someone puts your mind or soul inside of a stone, crystal. How would, if you've studied this, would you go about escaping?
You're testing me. Okay. Okay. Give me a second. So in this space, can you will yourself to communicate or move?
Yeah, I could say you'd be able to do that. But once you reach the
Okay.
edges, you're stopped.
Of course, yeah. So what I'd suggest is that it is a subdimensional space established inside the crystal. That's tricky. Don't tell me you have the ability to make a stone like this. Do you?
No, I don't. But it's a thought that when I was daydreaming back over there, spacing out, something came to my head. I figured, why not ask
Huh.
for it and see if you knew a solution?
That's
You
a
never know
tricky
what
one.
happens in the future.
Would you be able to communicate directly with the person that put you there?
I would believe it would be determined on the willingness of that person or entity, so I would say yes.
I mean, you could always just get them to let you go, but I suppose if that's a little simple. She stops and thinks for a second. She turns back to her desk and actually begins to write. But it is at this point I'd like for you to go to the D&D Beyond character section and see if you can claim this character. Let me know when you're there and if you see it. It is Illifrid Fizzbang.
Lame. Confirm. Confirm. It's not letting me confirm. Nope. Wait. This character.
I think it's because
Oh, it took a second.
Yeah. I think it was slow because I was on the page and then.
Not letting me go into her. Let me refresh my page, see if that'll.
Okay.
There we go. All right, I am on her page.
It's not her. That's you.
Oh. Okay.
As you stand there waiting for your daughter to give an answer, great deal of memory floods back to you. You are Illifrid Fizzbang. You are the High Arcanist of the Cobalt Soul. You have served as High Arcanist for a number of decades and have lived 90 before that. Advanced in age at this point. If you wouldn't mind, go ahead and prepare your spells for the day. And here, as you think to yourself, there's a strange duality of who you've become versus who you realize you were or still are. You don't know. It's confusing. It makes your head hurt, and as your head hurts, your head twists and your perspective shifts. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
For
On Illifrid.
Okay.
Or Chief. It's up to you.
Gonna do it on Illifrid.
Of course.
Wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
Ooh, he has advantage.
Yes, he does.
Natural 20 for a 29.
I love when the dice rolls fit the story. You feel that you are about to slip from this memory. But you open your eyes and you look to the room and you say no. And you are grounded in this memory. As long as you should choose to be.
Dang. Sorry, there's so much to choose from. You tell me to prepare
I
stuff.
know. It is okay for you to take your time doing that as we move along. So maybe do one level of spells every every chance you get, you know?
Yeah.
But I'll leave that to you. Your daughter comes back, slaps a paper on the table. What do you think about this? And as you pick it up and look at it, it's not a runic circle, but rather a little bit of description of how one could achieve verbal and somatic requirements without a mouth and hands through an extension of will. And she says, if you're in a subdimension within a crystal, there intrinsically still has to be a link to the ethereal plane and maybe even the astral sea, which means your will can manifest the requirements to apply magic. Which means if you could plane shift, teleport, misty step, it doesn't matter. You're free. And as she says that, you can tell she's probably right.
Okay.
And make another intelligence check.
Between either or?
You have elected to use Illifrid in the beginning. Now it's him from this point on.
Would this be against magic or no?
No, this is just intelligence. Anything against will always be a saving throw.
26.
Wow. The last memory you were in, you collected a portion of the teleport spell. But there were other options. And one of the memories, you left with the ability to use a spell from this life. This life that has been past and gone, you don't know how long.
Interesting. Good work. Good solution. Hopefully we'll never have to put it to the test.
I'd hope not. Don't go getting yourself trapped in crystals, okay?
I'll do my best.
All right. Look, I'm gonna be going to visit Mom today. I know you haven't come in a long time, but if you'd want to, good.
Let me catch up with you a little later, and I will put these notes and this solution somewhere easy to retrieve if we ever need it.
Now, is that the truth?
I'm going to study it for a couple more minutes, then follow her, yeah.
So, okay. So then just make a persuasion check. That's what I was determining. Is if
22, natural 20.
Wow. Hey, as she says that, she kind of lights up a little bit. And again, some memory fills into you as you spend longer here. She's smiled about things, but this is different. This is that kind of real smile. She says, okay, I'll meet you at the cemetery. Thank you. She trots out of the room. You are there in your study, the High Arcanist's study, the Cobalt Soul of Zadash.
I'll spend a couple minutes carefully going over the solution she wrote down.
Okay. And it's you're able to understand it. It is, in fact, as she said, a utilization of the ever-permeating ethereal plane, as well as a subdimensions or a pocket dimensions connection to the astral sea. And you know that, this is where bag fiends are able to make their travel into people's bags of holding, where they cross into the astral sea from either the abyss or the burning hells, and that lets them step into the pocket dimension. Sometimes people's demiplanes, liches, and ancient wizards that make demiplanes are invaded by way of the astral sea. So it kind of makes sense.
I'll walk over to that general section of knowledge, and I'll put it in one of those books.
Okay.
Because it has to do something along those lines.
Of course. And as you slide it in, you feel the memory lock in. You now know how to execute spells with no body.
In that case, there's no telling how long. Can I recall any information on the current situation with Ugandu? Maybe there's a book in this before I go out and meet her.
Make an intelligence check first, and then you can either make an investigation check to look through the Cobalt Reserve, or just a religion check.
Oh, I did the intelligence.
Ooh, wow. Okay. There's something about the power of your mind right now that you feel like you have a pretty good understanding of, in total, what's going on. You're not certain time is passing in the real world, if you would call it that, but no, that's not quite right. This isn't unreal. This happened, or is happening. In fact, temporal continuity is a problem with this. Something's not right with how this is working. This shouldn't be working like this. You had to roll above a 30. There is... I gave you the option, and it was always a possibility. But there is not a presence, but an influence over these events, over these, what you first called dreams and then grew to understand as reliving of memories. And you think specifically to the fact that you were trying to speak to the entity there in the cave, but she heard you and reacted to what you were saying. It wasn't a mistake. And these are memories of things that already happened.
I'm gonna look around real quick. Make sure there's no one near.
Okay.
I don't know what to call you, but can you hear me? Reaching out to the brain monster.
It was a natural 30, so or not a natural 30, but like an above
Came
30.
at the 31.
Yeah. You reach out to the creature, but you realize it's not the presence, the influence is not from that. Something else. Something outside.
I'm gonna kind of whisper to myself, Gilmore? It's too detailed for that type of guy.
And as you say, it's too detailed. It is. You're there. There's not this halo of strange sensation. You're there.
Can you correct me on my thinking? Is it Ioun
Go ahead.
the Watchers?
The Watchers do serve Ioun, the Knowing Mistress, yes.
Okay. Reach out and say, I know I'm new to your whole order or stuff like that, but Ioun, is this partially your doing?
Make a religion check with advantage, and off of the back of the above 30 intelligence roll, the DC is achievable.
Not that achievable. 17.
No, but I mean, you rolled a 30. There is just this. A warmth isn't the right word. When you have an idea, when you feel you've finally understood something, when that new math just clicks, and it's like, oh, I understand this now. When you know something new that feels your chest up through your shoulders and all through your head. An answer in the affirmative.
Well,
Not a high enough roll to form a direct communicating connection, but
I'll say, thank you for this. Try to talk to you again soon. And I'll start heading towards the information that I was originally looking for before I left
on
out.
Ugandu. Given the intelligence roll, as well as having gone with religion to try and communicate with Ioun, you just simply recall a few things. The ascendance of Ugandu took place 200-ish years ago, which is about 200 years after the Whispered One ascended. What specifically are you trying to determine?
The shards, if there's a location on,
Ooh, okay.
or brief or general locations, or
as a high arcanist of the Cobalt Soul, and especially here in Wildmount, where the battles against Ugandu took place and she was cast out to the other side of the Divine Gate, you would have this information. There in Allfield, there was one. The final one that was placed to complete the magic circle, whose center was over her location at that moment. The circle itself stretched miles and miles and miles, where other obelisks were erected in order to generate the field that would transport her to the other side of the Divine Gate. One is on the other side of the mountains, on the other side of Comorta. If you pull up your map... Wait, oh, there it is. Okay.
Alright, I gotta pull it up.
I can potentially also kind of just draw it for you after I describe.
There we go, I got it up on my...
But Oath, on the other side of the mountains, holds, which is like direct west of Allfield, holds another obelisk that was used to cast out Ugandu. Then above Morta, again on the other side of the mountains, at Pride's Call, another obelisk. Then, on the north side of the Labenda Swamp, another. Deep beneath Asarius, in Jorhas, another.
Sorry, what was that one?
Deep beneath Azarius, in Jorhas, which is out east past the Ashkeeper Mountains. In the city of Sharis, south of Igrathad, another. And finally, entrusted to be guarded within the Wizard's Tower in Nicodranus, another. Drawing on the power of the ley lines that pass overhead, the field was created, abjurative, transmutation, translocation, and divination, that was able to punch a hole temporarily through the Divine Gate and throw Ugandu through it, being cast into the element of chaos, leaving her to define her own plane as all of the gods did.
With that, I'll go back to the desk real quick and feeling silly for not remembering her name these last few times in these things. I'm going to look to see if there's a nameplate anywhere or a name on a paper.
Okay, so I could let you either try to make an intelligence check. You just pull from memory, but continually doing this means the difficulty is going to get higher and higher. Or, like you said, attempt to investigate.
I'll investigate it.
Okay, go ahead and roll investigation.
27, natural 20.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Okay.
Last chief session, I got stuck in a rock. So
I love it, though. I love it. Okay. I mean, Lily Fizbang. Found a couple signatures of hers on letters. One is a letter of recommendation for one of her friends to go to the Solstice Academy. A recommendation for her from you to initiate at the Cerberus Assembly as an Arcanist. And a letter addressed to her, requesting her to the Cerberus Assembly from Marcus Inden.
Well, I'm not about to go back on my word, so I'll go meet up with her.
And you do know the way. You realize as you're walking and you leave the grounds of the Cobalt Soul and head towards, in generally the direction of your estate, but mostly towards the cemetery. The walk isn't particularly long, but is there anything you'd like to do along the way?
Is there any, like, flower vendors?
It's not hard enough to find. It adds a few minutes to the trip. What kind of flower?
Just a simple... a lily. With a lily.
Stargazer, water lily, like what kind?
Let's just go with the water lily.
Okay.
Counteract the fire side of the things.
Mm-hmm. I like it. You do make your way, and there are the gates to the cemetery. And you know, as a Warforged, you have emotion, but it's purely psychological, where a lot of emotion is really physical, right? It's the heart, the muscles twitching and contracting. It's the endorphins and chemicals moving through our bodies. You still felt as a Warforged, but now, as you look at these gates that are open, your heart grips a little bit and your throat tightens. And then a series of memories do rush through you. Of Delilah Fizbang, a beautiful, beautiful halfling with, in contrast to your dark brown hair, a fiery deep red. Times with her, and then her passing to sickness some 12 or so years ago at this point. You find yourself paused at the gates. It's been a long time since you came back here. You spent 60 years with her. Half your life. Still step forward?
Yeah.
For a moment, the chief side of you emboldens you and you step forward. Off to the side, this hill that crests just around the edge, you can see the wisps of Lily's red hair blowing in the wind. You crest and turn around the path that circumvents the hill. And she stands before a headstone. Simple, rounded at the top. Simply engraved as well. Beloved mother and wife, Delilah Fizbang. With the engraving of a water lily on its face.
I'll place the water lily I brought on the headstone.
Lily just watches you place it. Just a little smile. Thank you.
Thank you. Being a wonderful daughter. Your mom would be proud.
She kind of turns at you like, don't you go dying on me.
Never the plan.
Yeah. She actually sits down onto the grass.
I'm too old to die. So I'll join her.
And again, considering the 30 on intelligence, you're in control of when you leave this memory.
I'll sit quietly with her for 10 minutes or so.
And then exit the memory.
Yeah. Just letting that memory of sitting there with her fade.
And gently, calmly, you feel her rest her head on your shoulder. You're back in the cave.
This has been a very interesting experience, my new friend. Speaking to the mentally speaking.
Hunger said, too small.
I have made it work. I think it is time for me to get out of your grasp. Not in a mean and upsetting way. I just have things that need to be done that only that body there can do.
Souls have power.
Sorry, I missed that. What?
Souls have power.
Yes, I know this. My metal companion down there. He's been a dear friend this whole time. In fact, he knew me before I knew him. I woke up like this. This is my new body, my new life now. So would you
I would be a fool to leave such power.
I don't need all that much of power. I only need to borrow a little. And it's to help save friends and those in need.
No, I want yours.
And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
As chief now, or as...
As chief now. And you've used up a lot of luck, man.
Yeah, I know, right? Going back down to the 0 saving intelligence, saving wisdom. 14?
Just makes the DC.
No.
And the crystal begins to shake. What do you do?
Say, you know, friends, speaking to the others, I think it's time to jump ship. And I'm going to try to will myself more out of this.
What do we do?
Fight against its hold with your mental
We
abilities.
fight. We fight. Yes, we fight. Show us what to do.
My lead. I'll turn and try to recall the portion of the spell that I have.
It's right there.
And
Do you remember exactly what it was?
the portion of the teleport spell.
Mm-hmm.
I have it written down. Knows a portion of the teleportation spell, teleporting an object to and from places, is the portion.
Okay. So how will you use that?
Is in this manner a soul considered an object?
A soul is not an object, but a body is.
This could be very interesting. I am going to teleport my body to me inside the crystal.
Go ahead and make an Arcana check. And I'm going to have you make it at super advantage. Which I believe, yes, when you right click, it allows you to throw 3 with it.
Oh, I see.
So just do advantage and then roll one more. And you take the highest.
Here's the advantage roll. 2 11s. 18.
Okay. And then roll the third.
Came out to 22.
Okay, 20 was the DC. The DC in order for nothing really bad to happen. Yeah. What are your highest level spell slots?
Let's see. Highest level
You have thirds.
I have is second level is the highest.
Mark off however many you have.
2 of them.
Okay. This is how much ether is consumed to do this. And as you reach out, knowing that you know without a body how to cast spells, teleport an object, and you see your body outside of the crystal as the room's still shaking, dematerialize. And for a moment, you grow a little concerned. But after a short time, you hear from behind you, but not really behind you because you're formless. And the crystal is large cracks forming in it. You turn to look.
Yeah.
Your body has appeared in the crystal and is very much disrupting its structure and stability.
I'm
A number of you go to move to it, and your will is moving you. A number of points of light begin to form at the edges of cracks that stopped propagating, and then they force the cracks further. And you hear, yes, I'll be free. No longer a singular cacophony of voices, but individual voices. And as you touch your body, flash of white, pure white. You open your eyes and the crystals are falling away from you. And you are there on the ground, landing on your hands and knees, in the chamber.
At that time, can I look up above? Is the monster still there?
It is. And it is shaking. The tendrils are twitching and writhing.
Is
And
there
a light begins to
Stalag-
form from within.
Is there like what's the ones that hang down, like stalactites or stalagmites? Which are the ones?
Stalactites hang from above, yeah.
Is there a bunch of them right above it?
There would be a good number, yes.
I would like to blast the biggest ones at the base to loose it from the ceiling with firebolt.
Okay, just go ahead and roll an attack. As you loose the bolt, you hear in your mind,
Why?
No one deserves to be trapped. Except for maybe
All my power.
not anymore. And I'll reach up and blast for 21 to hit.
Definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
13 fire damage.
That's well above. I mean, that's a good to hit and a good good amount of damage too. One of the larger stalactites. You shoot the firebolt, and a bolt and essence of yellowish red light pierce through the blue that's beginning to glow from this creature. And the one almost in the center. And it goes straight through. And the light fades.
Before it falls.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Before it starts falling down, I'd like to chop off one of the tentacles.
Okay.
Unless it's just like a big old worm that
No.
goes way up a thing, but
No, it's not a worm. You can tell that there's some kind of entity in the middle, and these are tendrils or tentacles. Just go ahead and make, I guess, an attack with your weapon to see if you can make that happen.
it's only an 11.
An 11. You know, as this stalactite goes through, the form slumps over the edges and immediately starts sliding down the hole. And it's a little bit too fast for you to really get a swipe on one of these things. And you can hear it sickeningly moving down the hole deeper and deeper.
Can I see anything escaping any of the crystals that aren't cracked after that?
That are not cracked. I mean, make a perception check. Ooh, real quick, did you... You had said in the last session that you left the classes on down here.
Yes.
Oh. Okay, you outright see.
Oh, okay.
You outright see that the points of light, the vague forms of entities in these crystals all around the room just kind of fall free and then dissipate. Hundreds upon hundreds of entities.
Cup. Take good care of the Mayun and rest well, friends. And
Make
I would like to try it.
make a religion check.
It'd be a 21.
Okay. As you commend these souls to Ayun, she accepts. You can feel it. A rather substantial offering.
Before I decide to actually leave the cave, feeling that the biggest danger is past, I would like to gather up. I know I've already found one of the stones needed. I'd like to see if I can find, for sure, one more, but then maybe 4 or 5 more for the enchantress.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just go ahead and roll an investigation check. And how long would Chief be willing to spend? Because that's going to affect the DC.
The better part of 30 minutes or so.
Okay. So a pretty thorough investigation, but not mining into the wall to find new pieces and stuff.
Yeah. Just something like
Gotcha.
the one I found that I carefully chipped away. It'd be a 21.
Man, to be so insanely lucky with rolls so much during this session, it's insane. You find 3 more. Roughly equal size. One of them is a little bit bigger, 15 or 20% bigger than the others. It seems that they kind of grow in a specific portion of a crystal structure where they're almost like off and at a specific angle away from a larger structure every time.
You said I found 3 of them, one just slightly bigger?
Yeah, you found 3 more, so you have 4 in total. But yes, one is hefty. And given that you are wearing those glasses, there's something in it. Something that wasn't released when the creature fell.
What does it look like?
It just looks like an ephemeral form. It's hard to say.
I'll carefully stow them into my bag of holding and
Okay.
look over at Master. Sorry to scare you there, bud. Let's get back to town.
Oh, you do make your way back upwards and out of the cave. You know, your body, it doesn't show exhaustion or wear and tear in the same way as a flesh and bone body, but you are worn down a little bit. You do exit the cave, and there's a little bit of snow falling. Just a little bit. Really light. There are also small tracks in the fresh snow of a little owlin's feet. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Awesome.